So there are three possible ways for them to get a job in US.
You're talking about in hand. Oh, in hand इतनी salary मिल जाती है 1.6 CR
yes,
तक. Is the difficulty level of the questions exactly same irrespective of which branch or which country you apply for? Hi Pushkar.
Hey, hi Anshika.
कैसे हो आप?
I'm good. How are you?
यार मैं भी बहुत सही हूँ एंड आज तो मैं काफ़ी एक्साइटेड भी हूँ क्योंकि फर्स्ट टाइम मैं अपने चैनल पर इस बारे में बात करने वाली हूँ कि फॉरेन कंट्रीज़ में काम करना क्या होता है, स्पेसिफिकली यूएस. ये जो हाइप है कि यार 1 CR 2 CR 3 CR आप यूएस में अर्न कर रहे हो तो उसका क्या मतलब होता है. तो आई एम सुपर एक्साइटेड एंड आई एम क्यूरियस टू अंडरस्टैंड कि एक्चुअली ये चीज़ें होती क्या हैं फ्रॉम यू.
Okay, I will try to answer from my best experience. Okay.
So Pushkar, as far as I know, आप यूएस में ऑलमोस्ट फॉर 2 to 3 years अभी काम कर रहे हो.
Right.
Cool. So चलो सबसे फर्स्ट क्वेश्चन मैं आपसे यही पूछूंगी कि if a person wants to work in foreign countries, let's say specifically US as a software engineer, what's the path? Like कि प्रोसेस क्या है, किस वेबसाइट के थ्रू अप्लाई कर सकते हैं, एंड लाइक टेल मी इन डिटेल कि किस तरीके से एक बंदा ऐसे काम कर सकता है गोइंग टू यूएस एज अ सॉफ्टवेयर इंजीनियर.
Okay. So Anshika, there are three possible ways for a person who don't have any relatives in US. Okay, for example, people like you and me who don't know anyone in US. So there are three possible ways for them to get a job in US. Okay, one is directly applying to a company. Other is to work in a company that have a branch in your home country as well as in United States. And the third way is to come US as a student. You can come as a graduate student or master student, and then US will give you 2 to 3 years OPT. OPT is optional practical training for which and during that period you can work and earn. Okay, so basically you can do a job in that period. So let me give you an example of each of one. So in the first case, you apply for a company that is already in US. Okay, and that is offering you a opportunity to work for them in US. Okay, so for example, let's say Facebook Seattle or Facebook California or any startup in California. Okay, you directly apply to those company, okay, and give all the interviews, and if they are ready to hire you, then what they do is they will file an H1B petition for you. Okay, H1B US government gives 85,000 H1B visa every year. Okay, there are some quota for students who have done masters in US. Okay, for example, I think 20,000. So basically 65 is randomly chosen. Okay, so there are 85,000 H1B visa every year, and generally applications are 2 lakhs. So what US does is US government pick randomly 65,000 and 20,000 master students, okay, and give them H1B visa. With H1B visa, you can work in US for 3 years, and you can also extend it for 3 more years. That is total 6 years. So once your H1B visa is picked, you can come in US and do a job for that company. So that is option one.
So one question I had here is, Pushkar, let's say I applied for Facebook US and I got selected from all my technical interviews, and now Facebook US applied for H1B visa on my behalf, and still that visa couldn't get selected. Like my name was not there when randomly selected and I couldn't get the visa. So in that scenario, what happens? Will Facebook US just reject my selection, or how exactly this situation gets tackled?
So yeah, I know many people who have faced this scenario. So in that case, since you don't have H1B visa, so legally you are not allowed to work in US. Okay, so in this case, what will generally a company do is, so a company like Facebook, they have offices in other countries, for example in India, in London, in Singapore. So they will offer you a different country. Okay, they can even give you a chance to work in Singapore or work in London. Okay, in this scenario. But for companies who don't have any branch outside US, so those company will end up canceling your offer. But companies who have branches in their country, they will tell you that hey, you can join Canada, you can join London. So this thing happens. This is not like companies are very bad, like they will cancel your offer if your visa is not selected. It's not like that. So if you have seen, there are many students from IIT who get international offer. So same thing happened with them. If their H1B visa is picked, they will come to US. If their H1B visa is not picked, they work from India. And what happened in that case is they will apply for next year. Okay, in the next year they will apply for H1. If in next year it will pick, then they can come. Otherwise they will continue working in India or some other countries.
So before moving forward, let me introduce you to fellowship program by Cryo. इस प्रोग्राम में आपको गारंटीड प्लेसमेंट मिल रहा होता है. यस, काफी सही प्रोग्राम है. एक बार मैं आपको इनके वेबसाइट पे ले जाती हूँ एंड डायरेक्टली दिखाती हूँ कि क्या क्या चीजें आप सीख रहे होगे एंड कितने तक की आपकी प्लेसमेंट लग सकती है. लिंक मैं आपको डिस्क्रिप्शन सेक्शन में दे रही हूँ, तो आप डायरेक्ट वहां से वेबसाइट को विजिट कर सकते हो. जैसे आप यहाँ होगे तो आप देखोगे यार ऑन एन एवरेज आपकी 15 LPA तक की जॉब लग सकती है एंड इन सम केसेस तो यार आपकी 40 LPA तक की जॉब लग सकती है, जो काफी एक्साइटिंग है. सबसे अच्छी चीज है आपको फ्री ट्रायल सेशन प्रोवाइड कर रहे हैं, तो आप एक बार ट्रायल सेशन लो, ना पसंद आए तो आप प्रोग्राम मत कंटिन्यू करना. अपने साइट पे इन्होंने ऑलरेडी बता रखा है कि यार हमारे डेवलपर्स ग्रैब, नो ब्रोकर, वॉलमार्ट, फोन पे, Amazon ऐसे बड़े कंपनीज में काम करते हैं. कुछ इंटरेस्टिंग स्टैट्स देखते हैं यार. ये मेरे को काफी सही लग रहा है कि आपको 89% तक एवरेज हाइक मिल सकती है. 93% स्टूडेंट्स विद इन 8 मंथ ऑफ ग्रेजुएशन प्लेस हो चुके हैं, जो भी काफी सही चीज है. CTC और एवरेज CTC तो यार हम ऑलरेडी डिस्कस कर चुके हैं. अब बात करते हैं कि हम किस तरीके से यहाँ पे पढ़ रहे होते हैं, क्या चीजें सीख रहे होते हैं. तो जो सबसे सही चीज मुझे क्रायो की लगती है वो यही लगती है कि ये प्रोजेक्ट बेस्ड लर्निंग आपको कराते हैं. जैसे कि आप देख सकते हो Zerodha, Amazon, Netflix, इन तरीके की आप एप्स एक्चुअल में बनाना सीखते हो, तब जाके आपकी जो अंडरस्टैंडिंग होती है फॉर दैट पर्टिकुलर सब्जेक्ट वो बहुत स्ट्रांग हो जाती है. अगर आपको करिकुलम देखना है कि क्या क्या चीजें पढ़ाई जाएगी तो आप वेबसाइट से डायरेक्ट डाउनलोड कर सकते हो एंड और भी अगर डिटेल्स चाहिए तो आप वेबसाइट से ही डायरेक्ट देख सकते हो. इन्होंने पूरी डिटेल यहाँ पे प्रोवाइड कर रखी है. लिंक मैं आपको डिस्क्रिप्शन सेक्शन में दे रही हूँ, सो मेक श्योर यू गाइस गो अहेड एंड चेक इट आउट. लेट्स गो.
Let me give you an example for the option 2, and that option and you have a live example, that is me, that I have come through the option 2. Okay, so in option 2 there is a special visa called intra-company transfer visa. Okay, so this is given for like a super specialty employees. Okay, so the requirement for this visa is called L1B visa. L1B visa is for executive and L1A is for managers. Okay, so this visa is given to a company who have branch in both the countries, in US as well as your native country. For example, I am from India, so Amazon have a branch in US as well in India. So this visa is given to those employees. So the condition for this is you have to work for that company, okay, for at least 1 year. Then you are eligible for this intra-company transfer visa. Okay, so I worked for India for almost 3.5 years. Okay, and then I applied for US, and in my case Amazon applied for L1B visa for me, and it was got approved, and then I came to US.
One question here as well I have, Pushkar, which is ki how do you get this intra transfer? Like since you are working in India, how do you approach your manager, or what's the process where you say that now I want to work at a US Amazon branch?
So this depends company to company. Okay, so in some company what happen is a company itself wants to send you to US. Okay, for example, if you are working in some company, let's say company ABC, and there is some work for you. Okay, there is some work in US for which you are super fit. Okay, so in that case company itself will send you to US on L1B visa, and the ways are differ company to company. In Amazon it is like you are applying for you can say you are actually applying for another like a job. Okay, so for me, in my case, I have a dedicated video on this on my YouTube channel. But on a Uber level, I did apply to one position in Amazon Seattle, and all the interview process I went through. There were 3 rounds, I guess 3 or 4 rounds, and I interviewed the manager interviewed all those 3 rounds with the team members, and based on the interview feedback, I was given the offer. So and then the immigration thing take place, and the L1B was applied for me.
Oh, so the technical complexity, like difficulty level, was same as a person applying first time to interview and then a person trying to migrate from Amazon India to Amazon US branch?
It depends. It could be same. As I told you, right? It is completely depend on the company, like how they are allowing. Okay, So in my case, it was through a proper interview channel. So for me, it was like proper 3 interview rounds.
Oh, but you are saying that in some scenarios it can happen that even without this interview, if you are fit for certain role in, let's say, Amazon US branch, the manager itself would ask you that can you shift to that place or something like that.
Yeah, in many companies this happens. So if you are good in some domain and there is a work in that domain which is of very high priority, then the company will tell you, hey Anshika, go to US for 2 to 3 years, go and complete that project.
Cool, got it. Let's go to now point number 3.
So the third way is you can come, so each person can come as a student in US. Okay, you can come as a undergraduate student or a postgraduate student. You can come here like to do your masters, and once you do your masters, especially in science and technology field, basically there is a term called STEM. Okay, science, technology, engineering, mathematics. So if you do your masters in these fields, US will give you a 2 or 3 years of job. Basically they will allow you to do job in US for 2 to 3 years. Okay, so for example, if you are coming to US to do masters in computer science, you are easily allowed to do job for 3 years. So you can do your job for any company, and in those 3 years you can also apply for H1B visa. So if you are lucky enough, if your H1B visa is picked, then you will get H1B visa for 3 years, which you can further extend it to 3 more years. So this is the third approach, that you can come to US as a student for study purpose.
Got it. Yeah, it was super helpful, Pushkar. I think for the first time I really understood कि मतलब लोग कैसे बाहर जा रहे होते हैं. So now the most hyped thing I wanted to ask you, Pushkar, is I've heard this often that people working in US are getting 1 crore, 2 crore, 3 crore salary. So like what is actually difference of getting a 3 CR salary in US versus let's say 50-60 lakh salary in India? Like I wanted to understand, is this hype real or like what's the actual scenario?
Okay, so let me tell you, okay, you are not the only one. I have asked this question by many people. Okay, so चलो मैं ठीक है थोड़ा इस पे ना डिटेल में बता देता हूँ तुम्हें कि so the first year, let's assume कि कोई अगर student है and he is getting a job, okay, for the first time, fresh from college. So the on paper they get, what they see is it's CTC, not their annual income. Okay. So CTC include lot of things. You might be aware, right? CTC में जो shares होते हैं वो 2-3 साल के add up हुए होते हैं. Okay, तो CTC की बात हम बंद कर देते हैं. Okay, because CTC is not the real number. So US में क्या होता है कि up to 2 lakhs I know. Okay, $2 lakhs, which comes out to be like 1.6 crore. इतना एक साल में मैंने देखा है स्टूडेंट को मिलते हुए. Okay, so $2 lakhs मिल जाता है in hand in 1 year. Okay,
you're talking about in hand. Oh, in hand इतनी सैलरी मिल जाती है 1.6 से आता है.
Yes, इतना उनको in hand मिल जाता है. इसमें आप थोड़ा बेस मान लो, थोड़ा बोनस मान लो, थोड़ा शेयर मान लो. ओके, बट या ये पूरा 1 year का हो जाता है. बट दिस इज लाइक वन ऑफ द टॉप, जो कि लाइक थोड़े कुछ कंपनी है जो इतना देती है. बट 1 करोड़ को अगर आप डॉलर में कन्वर्ट करते हो तो वो 1,40,000 के आसपास आएगा. 1,40,000 $. सो 1,40,000 ऑलमोस्ट यू कैन से कि आधी पॉपुलेशन को मिल जाता है. इट इज़ एवरेज, इट इज़ नॉर्मल इन कैलिफोर्निया. ओके, बट वही अगर आप $2 बोलो, $2,10,000. ओके, दिस लाइक इज़ वन ऑफ द टॉप ऑफर that I have seen. Okay, for some companies.
Okay,
but
I think इंडिया में जब ऐसा आता है कि 1 CR सैलरी किसी को मिल रही है तो वो तो काफ़ी बड़ी बात हो जाती है.
हाँ, so अभी you might have seen from IIT, right, कि किसी को 1.5 CR का पैकेज का जॉब लगा है या 2 का लगा है. so वो वहाँ पे CTC दिखाता है. उनको आप कन्वर्ट करोगे तो वो it will come out to be like 1.2 crore in a year. Okay, especially in cities like San Francisco or Mountain View, like basically California state में.
Tell me one thing, what is the difference? Like, अच्छा, let me ask you upfront. I am offering you 2 salaries. Let's say one is you get, I'm whatever I'm saying here is with respect to your in-hand salary. Let's not consider even our CTC and those stuff.
Okay.
So let me tell you, if you are getting a 1.5 crore salary annually in US, And I'm offering you again one more, which I'm just offering in air, but let's assume the second salary is, let's say, 50 lakh annually in India. So how do you decide ki should I take this one offer or should I take this offer?
So if you are saying 1.5 crore, so this almost boils down to like 1,90,000 or almost 2 lakhs US dollar. Okay. And the other option you are giving me is 50 lakh rupees in India. Okay. So in this way, I can say blindly take this 2 lakh US dollar offer. Okay. So
okay, how can you just tell me how did you decided it blindly?
yeah, I can tell you. So in India, let's say you are getting 50 lakh rupees. Okay, so tax वैक सब काट कूट के यार सब like you can easily subtract 30%, right? Easily subtract 30 to 40% because फिर आपका like PF, EPF ये सब भी कटता है, right? So like if you directly deduct the easily 40%, okay, so from 50 lakhs you divide you minus 40%, so it will be like 30 lakh rupees, right? So उसमें let's say 5 lakhs अगर आप expense कर देते हो तो at the end in best to best case you can save up to 25 lakh rupees, right? Not more than 25. It is impossible to save more than 25 lakh rupees. Okay, and now comes to US. Okay, so in US assume tax around 40% here also. Okay, especially if you are living in a most expensive city, that is California. Okay, California is basically the Silicon Valley and it have some extra state tax. I'm in Seattle. Seattle doesn't have state tax. Okay, so my tax goes up to 29%. Okay, max to max. But in California, you can see people are paying up to 40%. Okay, 37, 38%. So in $2 lakh in $2 lakh if you subtract 40%, so it likes what it will come. It will come like 80,000, right? So you will get like 1,20,000 after tax, right? So and in California, monthly expense won't it will take around only max to max 50. In $5,000 per month, you will live a very good life. Okay. In Seattle, why I'm saying this 5,000, because in Seattle my expense is around 4,000. Okay, 4,000 plus minus few hundreds. Okay, so let's say California is little more expensive, so let's add 1,000 more, so basically 5,000. So if you multiply 5,000, so this comes out to be like 60,000 in a year, so basically half of the salary. Okay, so basically there you will save like $60,000. Okay, so $60,000 in any way, it's like almost 50 lakh rupees, double of that. Okay, and
acha, when you say $5,000, are you just accounting the rent or are you including everything? Like let's say a person going to parties, commuting, living, eating, everything can be done in $5,000 per month.
Everything can be done in 5,000. Unless you want to spend more, there is no limit on spending more. If you want to buy an Audi, you will buy an Audi, then give the monthly EMI. If you want to, if you buy a house, then you will pay monthly EMI for the house. Then there is no end, right? You can buy Audi, Lamborghini, many things, right? If you live an average life without these unnecessary expense, I call these cars and all those things as unnecessary expense. Okay. Especially when you don't know how to drive. I don't know how to drive. Okay, so for me, car is a necessary expense. Okay, so yeah, so for me, it's like up to 4,000. It is easily I can do. Basically, my monthly expense won't go above 4,000 on every month. But in California, since it is little more expensive in term of rent, okay, in term of rent only it is expensive. Rest other thing is same as Seattle. Okay, so that's why I add more 1,000, so 5,000. So basically 5.5 is max. And in fact, I know many people who are spending less than 5, okay, in a month.
Got it.
Yes.
Got it. Oh, so based upon our calculation, what we saw was here you saving 25 lakhs and there you saving 50 lakhs.
Yes. And this is for you can say a student who is just fresh out of college, right? And I think fresh out of college in India getting 50 lakh is way optimistic. Only few, hardly 1% student will get. Only few. Yeah, right. But getting like 1,90,000 in California, I would say it is, if it is not too common, but I would say it is little bit common. you can easily get 170, 180.
When you say it is very common, is it common for Indian students just graduating from college as well, or you are saying in terms of the persons who are just studying there and the like companies are visiting their campus and giving this much offers?
So product-based companies, basically, I mean to say, there are a hell lot of companies in US. Okay, so I'm mainly considering product-based companies. So even in India, 50 lakh is given by big MNCs, right? Facebook, you can consider Amazon, Microsoft, Google. Only these company provide, or Flipkart, basically a big startup. So similarly, companies that are of that level in US, for example, Facebook, Google, Salesforce. There are many startups like Grubhub, DoorDash, okay, Robinhood. So these Netflix, so these pay very high. Netflix for a fresher, they give over 220 in California. Okay, I think they touch 250 also. 250 is very high. Okay, don't take 250, but yeah, you can easily take 170, 180. 170, 180 is very normal in California nowadays.
So let's not just like sugarcoat it and our engineers suddenly start thinking, oh, now why to apply in Amazon India? Let's apply in Amazon US only. So I wanted to understand, is the difficulty level of the questions exactly same irrespective of which branch or which country you apply for?
Yes, the level of questions, the type of questions, and also the number of rounds in an interview, ideally it is same. I have never seen or heard differences, okay, that hey, in Amazon India the question levels are easy, or Amazon US the question level are easy. I haven't heard that. Number of rounds are also same. Okay, so both in all aspects interviews are almost.
Hearing this, I got little skeptical, because now I am thinking, why don't people or graduates especially think of कि once I complete my college, let's directly apply to, let's say, Amazon US branch or Facebook US branch or things like that, instead of just thinking that I'll apply to companies which are in Bangalore, Noida, Gurgaon, stuff like that.
So the problem with directly applying fresh out of college from India to US is first of all, the process of getting a person from India to US for a company is not straightforward. As I have already told you, they will first take interviews, okay, then they will file H1B visa. Okay, so for example, let's say you are giving interviews in September, they will file H1B visa in January, February. In April the lottery system began, and your H1B visa, if luckily you get picked, then it become active in October next year, right? So basically it's a long process. I know one friend, okay, who has given Facebook interview last year September, basically September 2021, and since the visa got picked, and due to this visa backlog, he is not able to get the appointment. He is getting appointment in February or March 2023. So he will give the interview in 2023, and if he get the visa, then he will come to US in February or March 2023. So basically you can see it is a long process of 1.6 years, right? Almost 1.5 years, right? So now the question is, why a company like invest this much of time on a person when the person is fresh out of college? Okay, and let me tell you, there is no shortage of student in US also. Okay, there are, and also for a fresher, basically in US also there are a lot of freshers, right? They also need job. So for fresher, there is very low chances that any company will hire from outside US. They are more likely to take this expensive path, like for a 1.5 years for experienced person. So if you are 5-year experienced person, or 6 years, or if you are applying for a senior role or managerial role, then they will take this path. They will take this expensive path. They will apply for your H1B visa. They will wait for you for 1.5 years. Okay, this for a fresher they won't.
It makes sense. It completely makes sense. Initially, I was very confused कि you're getting good salary. You said in terms of difficulty level as well, the interviews are same. So like, why don't people think this way? But I think after you answering this, it completely makes sense.
Yeah. I'm not saying it is zero. There are few companies who will give 1 or 2 offers. Okay, just like you see every year, some IIT and some college, some company in IIT gives foreign offers. So they will get, but they are, you can count in your fingers, right? Only 10 offers, 20 offers, not more than that. Okay, because there are freshers in US too. There are many colleges in US. Okay, so that's the reason.
Cool. So up till now we just discussed the happy path of this, that you are getting a good salary, might be you'll be saving more if you earn more. The interview level difficulties are same and all those stuff. Now I wanted to understand from you, what is the cons of working in, let's say, US? Like, do you see any difference in terms of work culture, or might be your surrounding when you work in India versus when you work in US?
So from workplace point of view, I will say in India the environment was little bit friendly. Okay, let me tell you that there was a time when, so me and my team members, so there were my manager was handling two teams. So basically my team was around 7 to 8 people or 10 people. We used to have party movies every week. All were of same age group, we were all friends. Okay, so the environment was quite friendly. Okay, but here the environment is quite, like you can say, people are like just professional there. So here people come at 9 a.m. Okay, in India, when I was in India, if I came to if I came to office at 9 a.m., I might be few of the people who came to office at 9 a.m. Okay, but here at 9 a.m. you will see a hell lot of people already in the office. So people come around like 9:30, and they are very you can say strict. They will like easily go 5 and 6. So by that time the office is like almost empty. And also it's like we are like professional, like we are in contact only during office hours. Okay, after that we hardly in contact. In India, like we were all friends, like ऑफिस बंद हुआ बस, अब उसके बाद अपनी बातें शुरू, लाइक कहाँ चलना है रात में, मतलब कौन सी मूवी देखने चलना है रात में, किसका बर्थडे है, किसका क्या है. ओके, यहाँ पे माई एक्सपीरियंस इज लिटिल बिट डिफरेंट, क्योंकि जब से मैं आया हूँ तब से पेंडेमिक है, राइट? तो कुछ पॉसिबल ही नहीं रहा. सो मे बी इन्वायरमेंट कुछ अलग हो, बट मैंने तो ये एक्सपीरियंस किया है. ओके,
Got it. How often it's possible for you to come and go back home? Like inter-country travel, is there any restriction or something of that sort?
So from visa point of view, there is no restriction. As long as your visa is valid, you can easily go on, like any number of times. There is no problem. But yeah, when your visa is not valid, for example, if you are in US and if you change to a different visa, okay, and then you will go to India. In that case, when you come to US, you need a valid visa. So in those scenario, you need to go to embassy again. Yeah.
Got it. What in terms of festival? Like in India, you celebrate Holi, Diwali, Dashera, all those, and people give you holidays for that as well. Like I'm talking about corporate holidays. Is it same when you work in foreign countries as well, or you don't get holidays for those things?
ऐसा बिल्कुल भी नहीं है, ठीक है. यहाँ छुट्टी ऐसे यहाँ पे दिवाली नहीं होता है, ठीक है. वी सेलिब्रेट, ओके. सो दिस ईयर वी हैड अ वेरी गुड इवेंट, कपल ऑफ इवेंट्स, बट ऐसा कुछ ऑफिशियल छुट्टी नहीं होता है इंडियन फेस्टिवल्स के लिए. जस्ट लाइक इन इंडिया में, लाइक फॉरेन फेस्टिवल्स के लिए कौन छुट्टी देता है, राइट? यूएस में कितने सारे ऐसे फेस्टिवल है जो इंडिया में हमें पता भी नहीं होता. सो सेम हेयर. सो बट दोज हु वांट्स टू सेलिब्रेट, दे आर फ्री टू सेलिब्रेट. लाइक अमेजोन में आई थिंक काफ़ी बड़ा इवेंट हुआ था दिवाली का. तो सेम होली पे, लाइक ऑलमोस्ट सारे फेस्टिवल हम लोग यहाँ पे सेलिब्रेट करते हैं. बट फ्रॉम हॉलीडे पॉइंट ऑफ व्यू, हॉलीडे इज़ नॉट प्रोवाइडेड. ऐसा कोई नेशनल हॉलीडे पे भी नहीं, 15 अगस्त पे भी कोई छुट्टी नहीं होता. बट यू आर फ्री टू टेक हॉलीडेज, ओके. But you are free to take. You are given some leaves, personal leaves. There are like 20 leaves in a you can have. Then there are casual leaves. You can easily take vacation, personal leaves, so that you can take.
What I can understand from you saying is that in terms of how you are living, और मतलब आप बचपन से जैसे grown up हुए हो, वो चीज़ें थोड़ी change हो जाती है जब आप जाते हो बाहर.
Yes. I literally missed इस होली पे मैं यहीं था और दिवाली पे भी मैं यहीं था. So I literally missed the होली. I literally missed the दिवाली celebration. ओके मैं बिहार से हूँ तो मैंने छठ पूजा भी मिस किया इस साल, ठीक है। ओके तो और
यस
और वो भी रक्षाबंधन भी, सो लाइक दीज आर द मेन थिंग राइट फॉर अस। सो ये पूरा मिस कर दिया मैंने, क्योंकि यहाँ पे नहीं होता है, बट यहाँ पे यहाँ के होते हैं। फॉर एग्जांपल नवंबर में थैंक्स गिविंग आ रहा है विच इज़ वेरी बिग, ओके। सो काफ़ी अच्छा यहाँ पर हो जाता है। सिमिलरली यहाँ पे हॉलोवीन बनाते हैं, इतना लाइक हर घर को यहाँ सेलिब्रेट कर दे, मतलब सजा देते हैं, ओके। तो यहाँ पे यहाँ के फेस्टिवल्स काफ़ी अच्छे तरीके से मनाए जाते हैं। क्रिसमस पे तो यहाँ पे अलग ही धूम मचा होता है।
Got it. सेंस होना आता है, कूल। आई थिंक आई गॉट अ वेरी गुड अंडरस्टैंडिंग ऑफ बाहर कैसे काम करना है, कितनी सैलरी एंड ऑल दो स्टफ। आई रियली एंजॉय टॉकिंग विथ यू पुष्कर, एंड सच में मेरे तो बहुत सारे डाउट्स क्लियर हो गए, एंड आई एम होपिंग कि जितने लोग भी ये वीडियोस देख रहे हैं उनको भी ये चीज़ें समझ में आई हूँ।
ओके, थैंक यू
सो मच पुष्कर। बाय बाय।
या बाय।